Fox 61 News at 5 starts now.
This is not really a trial. This is a show trial, a literal kangaroo court.
And now at 5, Alex Jones takes the stand at day 7 of his defamation trial, what he had to say during his testimony.
Plus, a Planet Fitness manager is arrested, accused of recording a gym member in a changing area. We get reaction after the disturbing revelations from people who were gym members.
And a hit-and-run suspect in court today, charged in an incident that left a man in the hospital fighting for his life. What we're learning about the suspect.
And ongoing school bus issues are leaving parents frustrated. Tonight, we're hearing from the district about what's going on.
Good evening and thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. While storms rolled through Connecticut today, a lightning rod of its own walked into a Connecticut courtroom.
Alex Jones took the stand for the first time in his defamation trial here related to his lies about the Sandy Hook massacre, and things got intense near the end of the day's proceedings. Fox 61's Matt Caron joins us live at Waterbury Superior Court with a front row seat to those fireworks. Matt?
Yeah, you know what, guys? Today could really only be described as a very bizarre day in court. It was the first time that Alex Jones took the stand after days of holding several impromptu press conferences on the sidewalk outside. At times on the stand, he looked angry, he looked irritated, annoyed, and even at times confused. He spouted off several times in court, answering questions that he wasn't even asked to answer, and he had to get countless redirects and instructions from the judge, a judge who he has called a tyrant and who he's created memes of on his InfoWars website. The attorneys called out Jones today on several topics, including being a hypocrite for claiming the First Amendment protection for his Sandy Hook lies and then turning around and suing a competing media company when they lied about him. Now, Jones and attorney Maddie also got into a heated back and forth today when Jones accused Maddie of planting child pornography in emails that Jones's company InfoWars sent to the court. The defense tried to argue all day long that the attorneys were just badgering Jones, trying to instigate a fight and trying to bait him into talking about issues that were previously barred from being discussed, thus risking Jones being held in contempt. But perhaps the most notable moment of this trial thus far came late in the day when attorney Maddie was questioning Jones about his repeated lies that Sandy Hook families were actors in all of this. At one point, Maddie went over to Robbie Parker, who's the father of Sandy Hook victim Emily Parker. He pointed right at Robbie Parker and said, "Is this person real?" And then all of this began.
Robbie Parker's sitting right here. He's real, isn't he?
Yes?
And for years, you put a target on his back, didn't you?
Objection to the form of that, Judge.
Well, I mean,
Didn't you?
I've admitted I've said his name. It's true. I haven't said other people's names. I know who they are.
You put a target on his back just like you did every single parent and loved one sitting here, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
That's argumentative. It's speculative. There is no foundation for it, and it's inappropriate in this context.
These are real people. You know that, Mr. Jones?
I think you just told him to move on.
Just like all the Iraqis, but you liberals kill and love. It's just, you're unbelievable. You switch on emotions on and off when you want. It's just ambulance chasing.
Why don't you show a little respect?
Objection, Judge. I think that you get what you give in this court. Objection.
You have families in this courtroom here that lost children, sisters, wives, moms.
Is this a struggle session? Are we in China? I've already said I'm sorry hundreds of times, and I'm done saying I'm sorry. I didn't generate this. I wasn't the first person to say it. American gun owners didn't like being blamed for this, as the left did, so we rejected it mentally and said it must not be true. But I legitimately thought it might have been staged, and I stand by that, and I don't apologize for it.
And don't apologize, Mr. Jones. Please don't apologize.
No, I've already apologized to the parents over and over again.
We know
I don't apologize to you.
Objection.
Don't apologize to you.
You're going to do it again.
Objection, Judge.
Aren't you?
Objection.
No, I'm not.
Objection. Argumentative.
I don't apologize to you.
Now, the jury had to be excused from the courtroom about a dozen times today so the judge could handle some other issues. She was admonishing the attorneys for inappropriate behavior multiple times throughout the day today. At one point, Jones was asked if this case was important. And he said, quote, "I don't really think it is a case." He went on to say, quote, "I think this is a deep state situation," also going on to say that he believes that the people who are really suing him here is the FBI. Jones left the courthouse here behind me less than an hour ago. As he was walking out, the only thing that he said was the First Amendment will prevail. Stay with our continuing gavel-to-gavel coverage. Tonight at 10 and 11, my colleague Gabby Molina, her full report on what happened during today's court proceedings. We're live here outside Waterbury Superior Court. Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
All right, Matt, remarkable stuff. Thank you. We continue our team coverage now with Fox 61's Lindsay Kane. Outside of court, Alex Jones had more to say on what he thinks of his defamation trial, calling the trial a kangaroo court. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is in Waterbury now with what else he had to say.
We spoke with Alex Jones when he was leaving court during the lunch break this afternoon, and he said that he's being misrepresented. Now, in the courtroom, one of the big points was whether or not he called some of the family's actors. Now, I asked Jones outside of court if, in fact, he did call them actors. He did not answer the question. However, he did change his tune a little bit regarding the judge. Take a listen.
I can't perjure myself by lying and following her order. And she understands the pickle, she said, she put me in. So maybe she's not a big tyrant with a capital T. Maybe he's a little baby tyrant sometimes.
There were many questions as to how his testimony would go. Outside of court this morning, he said he may have to plead the fifth because he doesn't believe he made money off his Sandy Hook lies. Now, the court has several rulings on what he can and can't say, that being one of them. The judge says it won't come up in court since he disagrees that he profited, but he could end up being held in contempt if he doesn't follow the rules. Jones is not allowed to present defenses arguing he's not liable because he was already found liable by the judge. Now, for the last 2 days outside of Waterbury Superior Court, Jones has bashed and questioned the legitimacy of his trial. He says he does believe the Sandy Hook shooting happened, and he's sorry for what he said that hurt people's feelings. He also says that he's being used as a political hit job and says his trial is the murder of free speech and American justice. We'll continue to follow the very latest on this trial, both inside and outside of court, as it continues to develop. Stick with Fox 61 News on air, online, and of course on Fox 61 Plus. In Waterbury.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, it was a rainy day across the state. Doesn't look like it right now, right? At times it was absolutely pouring in some areas. I know I was caught in it.
Yeah.
Taking a look at the current conditions, though, in Hartford, sun making a little bit of an appearance there. Where were you earlier when I was outside?
Yeah. It was pouring at my house too, and this is the scene earlier today. The rain coming down in buckets in Naugatuck this afternoon. Do we have more to come? That's the question. And Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joins us now with that answer. Rach.
Yeah, we are done for the night. That rain moving out of here and colder air taking its place, making it feel like fall for the arrival of the next season, which is officially around 9 o'clock tonight. 64 in Hartford and 65 for the New Haven area. Again, seeing some clearing skies after that rain moves out. And you can still see some leftover drops here in far southeastern Connecticut, Stonington. Last few drops of the day, and then it is out of here with clearing skies pretty quickly back behind the front. Right now, we're looking at temperatures that are in the low to mid 60s. We've got some 50s, though, here in eastern Connecticut. The high temperature tomorrow will be colder than the current temperature right now. So if you walk outside and you think, ooh, feels a little cool out there, you're going to think even more so as we head through tomorrow. Heading to the Durham Fair tonight, the Big E, no weather issues. It's going to be a great night for all of that stuff. Maybe a light jacket. Temperatures around 60 degrees at 9 o'clock. And as we head towards daybreak, we'll see overnight lows in the 40s, including 48 in Hartford and 49 for a low temperature for the New Haven area. And it doesn't warm up all that much tomorrow with highs between 55 to right around 60 degrees. There's a lot of fall lovers in the house who really are looking forward to weather like this. And we're going to continue with this fall theme, which makes sense because it's going to be officially fall. Heading into the upcoming weekend, we'll have that forecast for you, timing out the chance for a shower later Sunday coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. Well, new tonight, a teen has been arrested accused of sending a threatening message which sent students at the Waterbury Arts Magnet School into a shelter in place. Police say a 17-year-old was identified as a suspect and charged with threatening and breach of peace. The teen was not a student at the school, and the shelter in place was lifted a short time later. Officers remained on scene this morning as a precaution.
A local gym manager arrested after he allegedly recorded a man while he was in a changing room in the facility. Gym goers now feeling a bit uncomfortable.
Fox 61's Carmen Chow joins us live in Naugatuck with more on what happened and how some of those people are reacting. Carmen.
Brandon, Sarah, people say they are just shocked because they saw this manager every day here at this Planet Fitness location, but they say nothing about that man gave off suspicious vibes.
When I saw his picture, I'm like, oh, I know, there's the guy.
Those who go to the Planet Fitness on New Haven Road in Naugatuck will likely share the same reaction after 23-year-old Jordan Hill turned himself into police on Tuesday morning. Police had an active arrest warrant for Hill, who manages the Planet Fitness location, for an incident that took place in June. Police say a man left the tanning booth, looked up at the ceiling, and spotted Hill.
When he was tanning, he noticed a person holding a cell phone pointed at him while he was unclothed.
A gym goer told Fox 61 he actually used the tanning booth once.
There is an open ceiling, but there is a top to it, I thought.
Police reminding people to be more alert, especially when they are in a changing area.
Anytime people are out in public or even at the gym, tanning places, it's always good to keep an eye on who's where and who's doing what.
Hill's behavior garnering mixed reactions.
I think it's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? When you have, no matter if it's a female or a man, recording somebody that you don't need to record for what? You know what I'm saying? To get your kicks on? I don't understand that.
He was actually really nice, really cool. He talked to me. He actually helped me pay for my Planet Fitness membership so I could start it back up.
Now, Hill is now charged with criminal attempt at voyeurism. He was released on a $20,000 bond, and he's due back in court sometime next month. I'm live in Naugatuck. Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.
All right, Carmen, thank you. We have a Fox 61 follow-up now. Waterbury Public Schools responding after recent busing problems throughout the district. Last night, we heard from a mother who says her 5- and 8-year-olds were dropped off more than 2 blocks from their regular stop and an hour later than normal. This was just one of many frustrated parents we've heard from since school started up again. Waterbury Public Schools releasing a statement to Fox 61 tonight saying, in part, quote, Waterbury Public Schools agrees with the community that stronger communication is needed between Durham and its stakeholders who depend on the transportation. We understand the transportation industry is ever changing and unpredictable, but the safety of our students is our top priority.